Yo, what's good? It's your boy B-Dell. If you're new to this channel, hit the subscribe button. But today I'm going to be decoding the intergalactic symbolism of the movie The Man Who Fell to Earth and how it's basically congruent to the complexities of the fifth dimensional pole shift that's going to happen by 2030. Now, what you got to understand is that when light breaks into a dimension, it can basically reverse the polarity of time, which is why time has been speeding up. Because light travels at 186,000 miles per square feet, and the only thing that's faster than the speed of light is thought. Because thought is basically the personification of the Ethereal realm, which is the foundation of the fourth dimensional energy that's hitting the planet. Now, not too long ago, we just had a solar eclipse, and that solar eclipse was basically the fifth dimensional energy in a concentric vortex portal that was basically permeating the stratosphere with divine feminine energy, which is why, you know, these celebrities and things of that nature has basically been purged off the planet. Now, that's basically synonymous to everything that's going on in the movie as well. So let me get my screen share going here. So when you're talking about the Anunnaki, the movie is basically synonymous to that whole allegorical story. And it's also synonymous to the Superman story because the main character, he came from planet Anthea. Antheum, when you break down the etymological roots in Greek mythology, it means to blossom. And the word planet risk means to provide, right? It's a provider of all intrinsic life on the planet, which is basically the personification of carbon, because carbon is the building block of all civilization. So Anthea is also synonymous to the story of the Anunnaki or the Riskians, who came from a tri-solar system, and you got three sons. You got Utu, Apsu, and Shamash. And this is basically in alignment to the story of the movie, The Man Who Fell to Earth, right? Now, I also need you to understand that, you know, when he came down, he was in a different form because the photon hydrogen atom creates elements, and those elements create electrons, and those electrons create molecules, and those molecules create Ethereal gases, which is basically the foundation of intrinsic physical life in manifestation form, right? So I'm going to show you a video here in a second of how everything, you know, basically started in the movie.
Shape of every choice we made. Would it look like a straight timeline? A staircase? A Mobius strip? I came here because my choice was simple. Live or die. I am an immigrant, a refugee. To survive.
As you can see, he's encapsulated around the plasma energy, meaning that he was projected from the 19th galaxy, because when you read Amos chapter 6, verse 4 in the Bible, it tells you that heavens is basically in the Orions, because there's 7 star systems in the Orion's belt, and the Orion's belt is basically in alignment to the 3 pyramids that's on the planet in Egypt, right? And it's basically also in alignment to every pyramid on the planet. So when he was projected here, just like how Superman was, because when I tell you, when you look at the color spectrum of Superman, it's basically synonymous to the color spectrum of the tri-solar system that came from Elihu on planet Risk. So when he was projected here, just like when you're talking about the book of Enoch, what you got to understand is, you know, all these allegorical stories is basically synonymous to the Anunnaki story, who are the Riskians. So this is basically an emulation of everything that happened on the planet, but it's just telling you in modern day form and more in movie format to make you think it's basically fictitious, because they give it to you in entertainment.
To evolve, I had to step into a new skin. something
As you can see, you know what I'm saying, when he basically transmuted his DNA, like I said, it was basically acting as an amplifier and converting the carbonated neuromelanated state into a crystallized physical body, right? So now I'm going to show you the complexities of neuromelanin. So also what you got to understand is that, you know, the foundation of this Luciferian government is predicated around genetical self-preservation. See, this is why the National Pigment of Cell Society, they hold a conference every 3 years, and they've been studying the complexities of melanin for 115 years. Now, why would they do that? Because they know it's synonymous to the fifth dimensional shift that's going to take place on the planet by 2030. So if your genetics is not acclimated to the pole shift, you're basically going to be discarded off the planet, because they know that melanin, neuromelanin, and carbon is an intelligence molecule, because it's basically an amalgamation of all the elemental compounds that's basically on the periodic table, which is element 115, which is a superconductor of orgone energy, right? So now I'm going to show you this video of him, you know, transmuting the carbonated energy in a neuromelanin in his body in a form of gold. Because like I said, melanin is worth more than gold. It's worth $450 a gram, which is why they want to extract melanocytes out your body and use it for technological purposes and for genetical self-preservation. Because in order to survive the fifth dimensional frequency, you got to have carbon in your DNA. So here's this clip. So you notice how he looked at the sun, because the sun itself is a big ball of energy. It holds a frequency and a vibration to basically manifest anything on the planet. So right now, you know, we're living in on a fourth dimensional frequency right now, to where you're not encapsulated by a fictitious electromagnetic grid. So anything that you can think of, you know what I'm saying, can basically manifest. And it's all powered by your genetics, which is the DEA, which is deoxyetheric acid, meaning that you got 9 strands of DNA all throughout your biological structure, to where you can basically create your own physical existence, to where you can create wealth, you know, due to the amplification of your DNA to basically manifest, you know, intrinsic value, which is gold and things of that nature.
Well, never had much luck at the altar myself.
So now you can basically see why, you know, they want to conduct studies upon, you know, melanated, carbonated people on the planet. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, if you look different on the outside, you damn sure, you know, look different on the inside as well. Everybody's not the same. You know what I'm saying? So that whole, you know, that fictitious perception of saying that everybody's equal, that's a lie. You know what I'm saying? Because when you understand the dynamics of 9 ether genetical properties and 6 ether genetical properties, that'll tell you that everybody's not the same on the planet. Because like I said, our DNA is basically an amalgamation of every element that's on the periodic table, which is where you get the word chemic from, chemistry. You see what I'm saying? So now I'm going to keep going with the video.
Hang on. I gotta test these. You're buying that. 1923. That's my favorite.
Also, I want to add another side note. Also, what you got to understand is, why would they conduct studies, such as the Tuskegee experiment? You got, all these eugenics programs that's basically predicated around our anatomy, because they understand the value of a carbonated neuromelanated body. Because like I said, if everybody was the same, why aren't you doing studies on the Asian or the Caucasian or the East Indian? That's because they know that our genetics have intrinsic value on the planet. So this is why, the whole dehumanization aspect on the planet is basically used to keep you from outside of yourself, right? Because if you don't know who you are, you can't decipher who the enemy is. So if you don't know who your enemy is, you can basically kill yourself off the planet to where they can usurp your genetics, right? So now I'm going to go to the next video. Like I told you, the neuromelanated and carbonated body is the highest form of technology on the planet.
All right.
Yeah.
Are you all right?
Notice that he spit up a blue cube, because blue is the fastest, color in the color spectrum. You know what I'm saying? And it's also synonymous to the soul. So one thing you got to understand about the cube, it's also conducive to Metatron's cube, which is basically quantum fusion, quantum energy. And that quantum energy is also the mathematical principles of the universe, because the way God speaks to people is through mathematics. When you're talking about the synchronization of certain numbers, angel numbers and things of that nature, because the mathematics of the universe is how, God or the supreme beings, they speak to you, because he's basically the supreme architect of the universe, right? So then when you look at the cuneiform language, which is also connected to the Sumerian and the Phoenician language, which is also the inception of the Meta-Netrian language. When you break all of it down, it's basically conducive to a binary code system, which is, the original matrix system. So that's where you get the whole aspect of the numerical components in the universe is basically the mathematic principles that basically creates quantum energy on the planet.
There is no radioactivity.
This is cold fusion.
No. Quantum. Dada.
Like I said, everything in the universe is mathematical. So when you break down the dynamics of the Meta-Netrian language, which means language of the gods, that tells you that everything is mathematical. You see what I'm saying? So even when you look at the binary code systems or the source codes inside the computers, they're basically an emulation of the Meta-Netrian language, which, like I said, that's the inception of all languages on the planet. It's the oldest language on the planet, which is also conducive to the Hebrew text. in the Arabic text, right? So now I'm going to show you how everything, you know, is basically in alignment to everything that's going on the planet, because the reason why he's bringing this quantum energy to the planet is basically to restore the balance on the planet of the unification of the divine feminine and the divine masculine energy, you know, working in synergy together to balance out the spiritual equilibrium on the planet. Because he sees that the laws and the perception of mankind has basically thrown the planet off balance. So now I'm going to show you these portals that's been opening up on the planet. This happened in Nigeria. Now this is not part of the movie. This is the actual footage.
Y cuando lo apaga, le apacho en el centro.
So like I said, those are concentric circles. You know what I'm saying? That is, you know, fourth dimensional energy permeating the planet. Like I said, everything, you know, right now you can manifest, which is why you should be very imperative of all the things that you say, what you think, everything that you're listening to. You know, everything is frequency and vibration. So like I said, you know, you living in a time right now, you know, everything can, you know, you can have instant karma. So you, like I said, you look at these rappers right now, you got Young Thug and people like that. They are basically, you know, being purged off the planet due to a hedonistic way of thinking, due to the rap lyrics and things of that nature. This is why the celebrities and the things of that nature is, you know, dropping dead, because the divine feminine energy is basically an amalgamation of a karmic energy. If you're basically doing things that's unnatural to the planet, because divine feminine energy is the personification of organic energy, which is based on a matriarchy and a matrilineal system, right? So now I'm going to show you another clip of a portal that opened up. I think this was in Chicago. Because like I said, man, when light breaks into a dimension, it can reverse a polarity of time to where the planet can basically revitalize and recalibrate itself and restore the balance, right? So with all that being said, you know, all of this is basically synonymous to everything that's going on the planet. So use this movie as a visual aid and a blueprint to basically, you know, keep tabs. That's what's, you know, going on the planet. So just use this movie. Don't look at it as, you know, entertainment. You look at it as a intrinsic resource for you to basically edify yourself to what's going to happen in the future. So with all that shit being said, share this video, get this video out there. And I'm also going to do another breakdown of the movie because it's only in the third episode. So, you know, get this movie out there. Follow me on Instagram at BDL1014. It's basically the same nomenclature as my YouTube name as well. So thanks for watching. Talk to you guys later.